Hi guys, this is Tagisobi, and today we're going to talk about Mega Man 11. So the Mega Man series is traditionally known for its punishing difficulty just as much as it is for its weapon switching shenanigans. While the extra challenge is loved by its hardcore fans, however, it admittedly can be intimidating for newcomers and novices. With that in mind, the brains behind Mega Man 11 have decided to bake in 4 difficulty modes in the game to cater to players of all skill levels. These modes were initially announced as Normal, Expert, Casual, and Newcomer Mode. A recent build of the game's Rockman 11 Japanese version, featured on Capcom TV, however, shows that they have since renamed Normal to Original Spec and Casual to Advanced, the latter being geared to folks who have played Mega Man before but haven't played the series in a long time. Not sure if those names are going to stay for the English version as well. Anyway, there's Newcomer Mode, which is for folks who have never played Mega Man at all or just find it impossibly hard. This mode has the potential to expand the game's audience, which would be good news for folks who want to see future Mega Man titles developed and don't want another extended drought of new games in the series. After all, if I remember correctly, the reason we are even getting Mega Man 11 is because of how well the Legacy Edition versions have been selling since they came out. Plus, as someone who backed Mighty No. 9, I am truly hoping that this one turns out to be a really good game. Please. Anyway, producer Kazuhiro Tsuchiya recently showed off gameplay for Newcomer Mode, including some of its key features, during an appearance on the Japanese Capcom TV program on YouTube. The mode is specially geared toward new players who might otherwise feel dejected or frustrated, especially after repeatedly dying or failing on some of the more challenging portions of the game, according to Tsuchiya. In fact, one of the interesting quotes from Tsuchiya, which I'm translating here from the Japanese, so excuse my rough translation, is so he goes, "We try to think of the kind of things that might sour the experience for newcomers and how we could address them." So what are some of the things that we could do to create a better experience for newcomers besides just making the enemies weaker? So basically that's a translation of what he said during the video, and on that note, here are some of the key features from Newcomer Mode that Tsuchiya showed off. First is a more generous double gear meter. One big addition to Mega Man 11 is the double gear system, which ironically is based on technology developed by Dr. Wily. The feature allows players to either slow time by its speed gear system or strengthen Mega Man's buster attacks, allowing it to break enemy shields by using the power gear option. You can also combine both gear effects when your life is low. Now, the speed and power variants have been widely reported before, but one thing I did notice in the gameplay is that there also appears to be a barrier gear option, which I guess is for boosting defense. Anyway, to prevent players from spamming these powerful gear effects, their use is limited by a gauge that will overheat if you use the powers too long. This causes the gear to go into a cooldown and you're not able to access it for a little bit of time. Now, in Newcomer Mode, the gauge actually takes longer to overheat, which allows players to use the abilities that come with it for a longer period of time. This especially helps in tricky portions like areas where you have consecutive gaps with falling blocks that you have to traverse in a Blockman stage, electric traps in Fuseman stage, or run-and-gun areas where you have to quickly navigate an area and then outrun something like a drill that can kill you. Yep, don't want to get hit by those. Another thing that Tsuchiya mentioned also is that the gear meter recovers much faster when you're playing in Newcomer Mode. A second feature that Tsuchiya also showed is that you don't get deaths from falls. No, I'm not talking about waterfalls. I'm talking about chasms that you fall into and, die from. So one of the more challenging and frustrating aspects of any Mega Man game are the quick deaths that you get when you fall while failing to navigate a bottomless pit, for example. In Newcomer Mode, players can acquire an item that allows Mega Man's flying buddy, Beat, to swoop in and save the day every time the blue bomber falls into a gap that can kill him. This, by the way, is an item with infinite uses, and it triggers automatically. The third feature that Tsuchiya also showed off is the rapid fire for the regular buster shots. So at one point, Tsuchiya stopped and quickly tapped the fire button, allowing Mega Man to rapidly fire off a stream of regular buster shots. This is in contrast to the 3 successive shots that Mega Man usually fires off in a salvo. Anyway, those are the 3 newcomer features that were showed off in this particular video. While these Newcomer Mode perks would be definitely overkill for veterans, they do provide extra help for new players or younger kids, while still leaving enough of a challenge for such players to make the game fun. Ultimately, the goal is to make the game enjoyable for players of all skill levels, so everyone can enjoy the Mega Man experience. Who knows, perhaps today's Newcomer Mode players will end up being the expert Mega Man veterans of the future. Anytime you can get more players to play a game, usually that's a good thing. So, what do you think about Newcomer Mode and its features? As always, feel free to leave any thoughts or questions in the comment section. Once again, this is Tabi Sobi, and thank you for watching.